Alright, we're back, and here's the final result. This is with the shield completely on. There's a couple bubbles I missed on the back because that was the first thing that I tried, there's a little bit going on there, but other than that, it went on pretty smoothly. I'm not sure how well it shows up in the video. You can kind of see what looks like, it looks like almost like a lint type of thing that might have gotten stuck on the back. I think what that is though is the micro bubbling, which is described in the package, and in the instructions it actually says over the next couple of days that's supposed to disappear. So assuming that all of that disappears and it ends up looking pretty nice, I think that this worked really well. There really was a piece for just about every single corner and aspect on this phone. I think the only thing that didn't have a specific piece for it was the push to talk button and the two volume buttons. Everything else had a little piece. There's like a little strip right there. There's one that goes right around the edge there. Oh, the power button doesn't have one either. But even the bezel on the back that has the camera lens on it, and the external speaker had a little cover for it. It was a little bit tricky figuring out which piece went where, other than for the obvious ones. So real quick, I'll go over them to hopefully make it a little bit easier. Let me flip them around. This one right here is obviously the back for the phone. You can see where the camera cutout is and all that stuff. That's pretty obvious. Also obvious is the bottom volume type of button slider with all the call keys and hang up keys and home and everything. And the third obvious one is the screen cover, the main screen. After that, it's not quite as simple. So I'll try to piece it together a little bit. You have this strip right here, which if you're putting on the phone actually goes something like this, and forgive me if it's a little bit off. I'm doing this upside down because of the camera. But it kind of goes right there, and that piece with the little cutout, you can match up to the bottom little piece right there. It goes right above the USB on the phone, so that's where that piece goes. And we have the little OK accept button. There's a specific piece for that. That one's pretty obvious. There's this little piece that has a nodule cut out on it, and that went, if I can remember correctly, that went around the USB. Not the side with the stylus, but the other side. So I'll try to mate that up right there. It kind of went around the corner like that on the phone. I'll turn it to a little bit more perspective. So it kind of went around the corner of the phone there, and again that piece looks a little bit like that. It's sort of distinctive. It has the little nodule cut out that curves around the side. So there's that part that goes on the bottom of the phone, and what else can we find? There were two little slot pieces. Let me grab the other one. This little slot piece and this guy. They look almost exactly identical. The one exception is that one of them is a bit longer than the other, or shorter, whichever way you want to approach that. On the phone, the shorter one of these two pieces went around the top corner between the power button and the volume buttons, and you just kind of wrap it around the side there. And then the longer of the two goes between the push to talk and the home button right there. So it kind of just fits right there. And a lot of times what I did when I was putting these on is I would pop it out of the actual main part right here, like I described before. Just pop it out and kind of wrap it around. You know, if it's supposed to go around the corner, you wrap it around there, and just kind of see how it's going to fit on, and that'll give you a little bit better idea before you start going on it. Let's see, another piece. This one was sort of confusing, this big sort of long nondescript piece right here. I saved that for last because I couldn't figure out exactly where that went, and it turns out that it starts down here around the back button on the side and just wraps around the case right there, and it goes all the way up to the power button up here at the top. So you can kind of see how that wraps around on the phone there. So that is that side piece, and I think I'm missing one other piece. That right there is the camera, obviously. And let me see if I can find that other piece real quick. There we go. And this was another one of the corner pieces right here. These are kind of tricky because when they're laid out on the template, they don't really have a shape that fits on the phone like the other pieces do. So you have to kind of think about in the third dimension how it's going to wrap around. And this piece is sort of distinct. It has this little cutout right here. And how that works is you find the headphone button thing right there, and it works on the corner with the stylus. So if you wrap that around there, you can kind of see where the nodule fits over the headphone part right there. Kind of curves around the stylus, which is right here, and takes you over to the side of the phone. So it kind of wraps around it like that. And I'll turn it a little bit more of an angle. Again, sorry, I'm doing this upside down on a camera, so a little bit tough for me to see. But you can see it kind of wraps around the corner there. So that's another one of those side corner wrapping pieces. So that's pretty much it. That's how it ended up going onto the phone, and again, it looks really nice. Assuming the micro bubbling comes off of it, I think it worked out really well. The squeegee I found worked really well for when you had a big giant piece. So the main screen it worked great for, the back screen it worked great for. Even the home button stuff here worked pretty well. When you get down to the little pieces though, it almost drags the piece along with it when you try to scrape it. I found that it worked better to just kind of really wet it a lot, and you get a lot of the spray stuff, the invisible shield spray. So go ahead and be pretty liberal with that, and I found if you spray it quite a bit and just kind of put the piece on and hold it in place with one finger and then just kind of slide it around the phone like that, you can kind of get it where it needs to go. And if you use the rubber squeegee, it just drags it off. So the best thing to do is just kind of hold it there until it gets in place and kind of let it start to dry a bit, and you can kind of slide the moisture out like that. But you don't want to move it around too much once you start sliding it, otherwise it'll freeze in place and it'll be in the wrong spot. So you want to make sure that it stays where it needs to go, and you just kind of gently massage the moisture out of there. And then eventually it'll kind of start sticking in place, and you can just kind of hold it for a second and it'll stay there. And that's how you get a nice tight seal around everything. So that's probably my big pro tip now that I've done it once. I guess in conclusion I would say that it worked really well. I like having it on there because it keeps the phone real sleek instead of having a big giant case that kind of makes it a little bit fatter than it already is, and it's not the thinnest phone. So it's nice to keep it thin with the invisible shield. Definitely it's cool. For the invisible shield company, for Zag.com, I guess I would say it doesn't seem like these would cost too much. The price is very fair for them, around the $30 mark, but I don't think it would cost that much to manufacture. They may want to actually consider throwing two in there in the future, just because your first time putting it on is a little bit confusing, and in case you mess up, it'd be really cool to have an extra one in there. So if it doesn't cost too much, that would be my recommendation for them. And another thing that I wanted to say is that I think it'd be really cool if AT&T actually started stocking these, and other phone companies too. I'm biased to AT&T because I'm with them. But the only case that they had was a really thick one, and when I bought it, I put it on the phone and I actually pinched the corners of the phone, and I think it would have started damaging it. If they would carry these types of these type of covers, I definitely would have considered buying one from them. Even if there was a $10 premium or something on top of it, I still would consider getting it. So I think AT&T would do well by considering to work with Zag.com to get the invisible shield actually in the store. Maybe even have a service for AT&T putting it on. I don't know, I'm throwing ideas out there. But it's a pretty cool case in conclusion, and I am definitely glad that I have it on there, and I'll be interested to see how it holds up over the next couple months. And thanks a lot again to Zag.com for providing me with the case. I appreciate it, and hopefully this demo helps some people out to see how to do this and provide some legitimacy, because I know it's kind of questionable buying cases and stuff online, but definitely they did a good job getting the case to me, and it worked out well. So good luck. Bye.